Warning, this video may contain content that may not be suitable for children or anyone else that is easily offended. Strong language, graphic content, nudity, bad jokes, and a possible idiot, aka myself, may be featured in the following clip. Viewer discretion is advised. Channel is not responsible for any damages that you receive watching this video. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Zems, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to BuzzFeed Unsolved, the tragic murder of JonBenét Ramsey. Don't quote me on that. I think I said it right. I'm not too sure. But if you guys haven't already, be sure you swoop down in the description box, click on the link, and watch the video in entirety. If you want to be pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much for the recent support, man. Keep doing what you guys are doing, and the videos will keep coming. A lot of you guys have been asking me to switch it up and give some variety. I might look into it. I might dabble around on YouTube and see what I can watch and can't watch, because copyright strikes is tightening up these days, and you know, it's getting harder. Even when I did video games, I was getting copyright strikes. It was just like, ugh. But for now, let's get it. Let's go.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discussed the death of JonBenét Ramsey, a case that to this day still captivates the nation.
Does it,
I gotta
though?
say, this one really gives me the creeps.
It's not fun.
No, it's not fun. A child died.
Facts.
I'm not stoked here.
No, I'm not stoked, but everyone seems to want to hear about it, so here we go. On the morning of December 26, 1996, in Boulder, Colorado, Patsy Ramsey claimed to discover a ransom note for her 6-year-old daughter, JonBenét Ramsey, on the back staircase inside the house. This prompted Patsy Ramsey to call the police at 5:52 a.m. to report JonBenét as missing. The people inside the house at the time were John Ramsey, her father, Patsy Ramsey, her mother, and Burke Ramsey, her 9-year-old brother. Bizarrely, the body of JonBenét Ramsey was found less than 8 hours later. And even stranger, the body was found inside the Ramsey residence in the
I already know. Inside the Ramsey residence, huh? It had to be one of the family members, bro. 100%. Ain't nobody's gonna sneak into your house, kill him, and then leave. Let's hear the rest of the story, but I'm thinking of some foul play up in here. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. Take your guesses down the bottom of the comment section, and we shall see.
utility room in the basement. The body was found by JonBenét's father. She was found with duct tape over her mouth and a smooth cord around her neck. It is widely reported that the crime scene was heavily compromised by people arriving at the scene. The police later claimed that they had not searched the house after Patsy's call because there was no reason to believe from the ransom note that JonBenét was in the house. At the time of her death, JonBenét Ramsey was a well-decorated beauty pageant competitor, having won at least 5 high-profile competitions. Her death was ruled a homicide. Strange, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's peculiar. I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, I've read a lot of these cases. I can't recall one case where the missing person was inside the house.
It's spooky.
It is spooky.
Have you checked the children?
The autopsy found that JonBenét was bludgeoned to death, while the county coroner ruled that JonBenét had died of asphyxiation caused by being strangled.
Strangulation usually means personal. So I don't know, like, usually nowadays, if that's the person is missing, usually most time the cops are asked to look around the house. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been plenty of cases where people are like, oh, they came missing and the person was in the house. You get what I'm saying? And like, an example, even though it's a movie, I don't know if it's called End of Watch, but they're like, oh yeah, my baby's been kidnapped and this and that, and the baby was in the back of the closet with tape over his mouth. You get what I'm saying? So, and I also never been a fan of those beauty pageant things. I personally think it's creepy. Like, you're dressing up 8, 7-year-olds with makeup and short dresses and stuff and have them walk around. I don't support that kind of stuff. But hey, I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way. I never liked it. I think it's weird. I think it's awkward. I feel like that's the perfect place for pedophiles to go out and try to like auction kids. You know what I'm saying? Or traffic. Like, I don't know. Strangulation. But then again, she's a 2-time champion. Whatever they're saying she is. Maybe someone got jealous and they wanted their daughter to win and somebody killed her. You know.
A paintbrush from Patsy's hobby kit was used to tighten the rope that strangled JonBenét. There was DNA found on JonBenét's long johns and underwear, both belonging to a single unidentified man, who, when compared to the FBI's database of convicted violent offenders in 2004, was not found among 1.5 million samples.
So somebody knew.
DNA.
Oh, it's not like that.
Okay.
No, not like that.
I just,
Yeah.
I wanted to be, you know, how gross we were getting.
Yeah, we know.
2 sets of unidentified footprints found at the scene. There was a rope found close by JonBenét's bedroom that did not belong to the Ramseys. However, as of 2006, the rope had never been tested. If somebody broke into the house, they did so cleanly, as there was no footsteps in the snow outside the house, as well as no sign of forced injury.
This is Colorado, right?
It's snowing. I mean, conceivably, maybe the snow got covered up.
No. You'll see some kind of footsteps.
I know snow. You don't know snow because you're a Southern California.
Oh, you can
represent.
right now from your Chicago, from the Windy City, and I don't know anything about weather because
We know
us
snow out
Californians
there.
have
We
it
know
so
snow.
nice. It's not that hard. It falls from the sky and it hits the ground.
There's some nuance to it. There's some intricacy, and if
Such as what?
oh, you don't even know.
Let's move
Cap
on
it
to the
up.
contents of the ransom note. The note requested $118,000 in exchange for JonBenét Ramsey.
Strange.
Why is that strange?
Weird number.
It
Well, I
is.
guess it is very specific. Actually, we're going to touch on why that may be so specific.
This is my
later.
detective brain. This is what I'm telling you about.
I think it is.
Did
and I
that
think-
number
I think
stick
you're-
out to you the first time?
It did, but I think you're tooting your own horn a little bit too much.
Shame the brain.
Okay. The exchange to take place the next day between 8 and 10 a.m. The highly scrutinized note starts with, quote, Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves, end quote. A strange declaration that would ultimately lead nowhere.
If you're sending someone a ransom,
Yeah.
I would imagine you would want to put in as little detail as possible.
Your faction.
I'm not going to say, Dear Mr. Ramsey, it's me, a tall fellow.
It almost seems cartoony.
It does.
Almost as if it was fake.
It seems fake to
Let's
me.
move on. Here's another excerpt. Quote, the two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you not to provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police or FBI, will result in your daughter being beheaded.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
What?
it's a fucking ransom note. You can try to deceive us, but be warned that we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back.
Fucking mathematician over there.
Yeah.
I know, this guy is a smug piece
I've
of shit.
crunched the numbers.
I've run the permutations through my little computer, and all of them say, you're fucked.
My murder laptop.
Murder laptop.
Yeah, this letter seems booty. I don't know. It doesn't sound real to me. Like, we don't particularly like you. Why you don't like me? What did I do? What's the history behind the dad? Is he doing some kind of underground stuff that we don't know about? He said your particular business or faction. What business? Is he talking about the pageant business? Is he talking about something on the side? Because if you got some money coming in, like they said, 118,000 is a little bit specific. Like he just said 100,000, 50,000. Like, you know, it's a even number. You know what I'm saying? But 118,000, that's just like, why not 120? You know, why not 125? Why just 118? That's just weird.
There was signed SBTC, initials that still remain a mystery. One curious fact is that the sum of $118,000 was close to the amount that John Ramsey received for a bonus that year.
Somebody in his office.
When you asked the question about the specificity of the
So
number,
somebody he knew.
there it is.
I've connected the two dots.
You didn't connect shit, but
I've connected them.
however, the most chilling fact about the ransom note was that it was determined that the note was written using pen and paper from inside the house. While this detail is absolutely horrifying, it also brought a lot of suspicion into the integrity of the note. This suggests that the killer somehow entered the house, wrote the note inside, and for some reason then killed JonBenét Ramsey after writing a ransom note. All of this occurring while the other three Ramsey family members were inside the
It's
house.
impossible.
I feel like I've been in some big houses where you could be in one end, someone in the other end could be straight up murdering a human being and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, the mansion's
Would you
big.
take that kind of a risk as a killer to do all these weird little things inside the house?
Yes.
Analysis of the notepad used suggested that a practice letter was written, and part of a practice note was found. There were spelling errors in the letter on words thought to be easy, like possession. Yet some wonder how words such as attaché, with an accent on the E, were spelled correctly. Some believe this adds up to the letter being a hoax.
It is.
And when combined with the lack of evidence of an intruder, this case becomes even more puzzling.
Maybe the practice letter was just sort of, you know, when you write like a
I need to start
banner,
writing
and
these
you
things down.
write with a big marker, and then
Oh, when you're
suddenly
making the big
you've got
old
like
blue-
3 letters to squeeze in at the end, and it looks all shitty.
Are you under the impression he wrote this in bubbly letters?
No, I'm just saying maybe he was spacing it out.
It's a notepad. He doesn't need to space it
know.
out.
Okay, then I don't understand the practice.
No, neither do I. That's the point.
Jesus.
But yeah, like the ransom note. Like my thing is, if I'm a serial killer, bro, I don't give a damn what I'm misspelling. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, they're gonna think I'm stupid. Like, who cares? Like, you already kidnapped the girl or whatever you got her at, and then you worried about your spelling? That's red flag number one. Number two is you just started the whole letter over. You ripped it and put it in the trash. Like, okay, let me start it over. Okay, how you spell that? And you start using syllables like possession. Ah, there it is. You Googling. Like, this shit, bro, I don't know what it is. Because right now, it's looking like it's made up. They telling me somebody died in your house and they was able to write a letter. They got in your house without leaving any evidence. There was no signs of forced entry. It's either the family member or somebody that they knew, bro. Because there's no way in hell that you can just go inside the property and not leave any evidence behind.
I don't understand the beheading. What is that all about?
With that, let's get into the suspects, starting with the Ramseys themselves.
Here we go.
In the early goings of the case, the Ramsey family was under heavy scrutiny, given the suspicions of the ransom note's authenticity and the little evidence to suggest an intruder. The actual person responsible for the murder varies depending on who is theorizing. A recent television program claims that police theorized that Patsy accidentally killed JonBenét. That same program also posited that Burke Ramsey, JonBenét's 9-year-old little brother, accidentally killed JonBenét as well.
Possible.
However, for Patsy or Burke to be the culprit, not only would the note have to be staged, but so would the strangulation. And that doesn't add up when you consider the evidence suggests that JonBenét was still alive as she was being strangled. Furthermore, handwriting analysis also ruled out John Ramsey and ruled Patsy Ramsey as inconclusive. Experts believe the signs are more consistent with child abduction and murder done by an intruder. Fascinatingly, in 2013, it came to light that in 1999, a grand jury had voted to indict JonBenét's parents on charges of child abuse resulting in death. However, the Boulder District Attorney at the time, Alex Hunter, did not sign the indictment, believing that there was not enough evidence to support the charges. Casting further doubt on this theory is the fact that the DNA evidence procured from the crime scene officially exonerated the entire Ramsey family. You could see why people would think it may be one of them in the family, though, because if it was indeed an accident, you would have to cover it up, you would have to write a note. Which brings us to our first non-Ramsey suspect,
Let's get it.
a local man named Bill McReynolds who had visited the Ramsey house 2 days before JonBenét's murder.
Santa.
He sometimes dressed up as Santa Claus. His own daughter had been kidnapped 22 years before the JonBenét murder.
Bro, put some respect on my name, bro. I'll put it on my life. I have never seen this video, bro. And that was the first thing that came to my mind. How many times did I tell y'all I'm psychic, bro? I'm telepathic. I can see these things happening, bro. I am one with evil. Not like evil, but like one with evil beings. I know everything, bro. I'm the Red Flag King. I tell you guys this.
His wife had written a play about a child getting molested and then murdered in a basement. According to the Denver Post, this man felt close to JonBenét. Here's a quote from him. Quote, "Her murder was harder on me than my operation. She made a profound change in me." End quote. McReynolds even brought a vial of glitter gifted to him by JonBenét into heart surgery. The gift had been meaningful to him since no child had ever given him a gift while playing Santa. He even asked his wife to mix the glitter with his ashes if he were to die.
I don't like
Yeah, no.
This also could be just the acts of a kind old man.
It is up until him wanting her glitter mixed with his
Yeah.
Fair. I tell you what, did he murder her? Maybe not. Is the glitter with your ashes a weird thing to ask for?
It's the
Absolutely.
weirdest,
That's
yeah.
very weird. I don't like that at all.
No.
I wish I didn't know it, but now it's in my brain. And now it's in all your brains, whoever's watching this.
Deal with it.
However,
And you got to, that's why these people, I'm sorry, y'all be letting y'all kids sit on these strangers' laps in the mall, bro. Hell to the no, bro. I can't, bro. It's just too much weird stuff that we just allow happen. You just really gonna let your kid sit on some random stranger in the mall? Like, I get it. It's to pretend to be Santa shit. Have your husband or uncle or brother or somebody dress up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that you trust. Don't just sit your kid lap on some stranger. You'll never know if that dude's probably, this dude right here talking about some, oh yeah, put the glitter in my ashes. He probably at home talking about some, ho, 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 what you want for Christmas, little girl? Like, boy, if you don't get your big grown ass up out of here talking about mix my ashes inside the glitter. Boy, if you don't get the big ass red velvet suit on, a long ass beard talking about some, that was the first child that ever gifted me glitter.
beyond these sensationalized details, which can also be interpreted as the acts of a friendly old man, there is nothing to suggest McReynolds as the murderer.
That's not friendly.
The next suspect is Gary Oliva, a man who lived a few blocks away from the Ramsey home at the time of the murder. In In 2016, Oliva was arrested on charges of child pornography. In December of 2000, Oliva was arrested on unrelated drug charges and was found to be carrying a photo of JonBenét in his backpack. He explained why he had the photo to the Denver Post. Quote, "JonBenét's murder touched me very deeply. I felt she was an exceptional girl whose death was an exceptional loss. I felt the need to build a monument, a shrine, to remember this little girl."
Oh, I don't like
End quote.
Ryan. I know everybody wanted to hear about this case, but I don't want to anymore. I'm done.
Touching on the suspect, this guy's very suspicious.
Yeah.
Ryan, he is.
And it's gonna get worse.
Why?
A high school.
2016 and you still got a photo of her in your backpack? You gonna create a monument, a shrine? What? Why is it every time you get these like crucial cases like the Zodiac or, you know, like this case or some other cases, there's always more than one creepy ass dude or woman that's in the case? Why couldn't it just be like one creepy ass dude that's kind of like, okay, it's him. And it's just like when you're watching this, it's kind of like, oh, that's definitely him. They tell you somebody else like, oh, never mind, it's him. Or is it both of them? Is it a cop? Like, what? Bro, it's either Santa Claus or it's the dude that looked like the guy from the Rascals. Life is a highway. I didn't see his face, but I seen his hair. You have that. It happened in 1996, bro. It's 2016 and you got child pornography and a photo of her. Nah, bro, you building a shrine because that's your prize kill that you got away with. That's what it is.
A friend of Oliva named Michael Vale revealed in an interview with In Touch magazine that Oliva called him a day after the murder occurred and said, quote, "I heard a little girl. I heard a little girl." End quote. According to Vale, Oliva also revealed the location of where he had hurt this girl, Boulder, Colorado, after which Oliva hung up the phone. This is interesting if true because records show that no other girl other than JonBenét was harmed in that area that night. Vale also revealed that the strangulation method used on JonBenét was also allegedly used by Oliva when Oliva attempted to strangle his own mother with a telephone cord.
Why would someone make that up?
Yeah.
I don't know, you gotta imagine these people, since the story's so sensationalized, they would get paid to give an interview, right? An exclusive, because it is an exclusive with In Touch, which we all know is the major true crime publication of the United States.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Gary Oliva was also not a match to the DNA evidence. The final suspect is John Mark Carr, a divorced. You don't even like his name? Do you not like him with the names?
I remember this fucking guy.
Okay. A divorced father and elementary school teacher,
got a fat ass
Carr
head.
did not become a suspect until nearly 10 years after the murder, when he confessed to the murder via email to a journalism professor named Michael Tracy. Tracy had emailed back and forth with Carr for 4 years in order to gain his trust.
That's good journalism.
It's good journalism, but I mean, you gotta imagine it takes a toll on you emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have a weird pen pal like that.
Weird. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
I just don't know what you say to someone for 4 years. I'll be
Hey,
like,
do you know anything about that kid that got killed
Yeah,
in Colorado?
no one's ever asked me if I murdered anyone.
Yeah, how do you squeeze that
Asking
in?
the right questions. Tracy said this of the experience, quote, "You are reading and hearing a truly dark side of the human psyche, and having to pretend it's okay that I wasn't going to sit in judgment, because otherwise the communication would have stopped. This is the worst experience of my life by far. It was horrible." End quote.
Was he also pretending to be a weirdo?
He had to have been, right?
Was he like, yeah, man, I'm a journalist, but I'm a sicko, trust me.
Maybe you're right about this, yeah.
That's all he said over and over again. That's
For
all.
4 years, trust me, I'm a sicko. Write me back.
Judging from the character of this guy that you'll learn later, John Mark Carr, I don't think it's going to take a lot to outfox him, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember this dum-dum.
In his emails, Carr used similar wording as the ransom note. At one point, he used Patsy's mother's nickname in an email, Nettie, and it was bizarre that he would even know that. Carr would eventually write that he was in love with JonBenét, and would later confess to hitting JonBenét in the head with a flashlight. Here's some of the email. Quote, "She of course was asleep from the time that I took her from her bed and took her into the basement. Her first reaction was, 'Where am I?' And I said, 'You're in your basement.' She wasn't in that little room to be disgraced, and I would never disgrace her or dishonor her. She was there temporarily, and what really hurts me is that she stayed there, and that's where her father found her, and it's just a horrible thing." End quote.
I don't believe that.
I'm just getting kind of bummed out and sad, but we'll keep going here.
On August 16th, 2008, with the help of British intelligence, the Royal Thai authorities, and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, they were able to track down Carr in Bangkok, Thailand, where he had traveled to from the US to escape child pornography charges in California. A few months after this confession, Boulder County District Attorney Mary Lacy issued a formal apology to John Ramsey for the suspicion his family had lived with and said that no one in the Ramsey family is considered a suspect. Carr's DNA did not match the DNA found on the scene, and he was not charged with the murder. However, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security continued to investigate John Mark Carr. He had always maintained that he had not acted alone. If you'll recall, there were 2 sets of unidentified footprints found at the scene. It's worth mentioning that former Boulder Police Chief Mark Beckner, the lead investigator on the JonBenét Ramsey case for a time, said in a Reddit AMA in regards to John Mark Carr that, quote, his confession, once they shared it with us, did not match the evidence at the scene. We knew in about 18 hours he was not the guy. We were able to confirm he was not even in Colorado at the time by just doing some routine checking and then obtained photos of him in Georgia at the time, end quote.
I told you. I knew it. I hate to say I told you. It was just the way that he talked about it. He was like, oh yeah, I took her from my room. He was too detailed about it. He was just, I don't know, like the other dude with the shrine, he's just creepy. He just gives off that vibe. I'm going with the Santa Claus dude was kind of weird, but I'm going over with I'll leave it wherever his name is, because he was like, he did it. He hurt somebody. He didn't go into specifics. He said he hurt somebody and he gave the exact point. This dude was like, yeah, I was there and I hit her in the head with a flashlight and this and that. And I didn't act alone. Like, no, he's full of it. Yeah, child pornography. He probably got him on that, but I'm thinking it's the second dude. I don't think it was Santa Claus, bro.
All these cases, you just want justice to be served so badly that you just kind of want to just plug in the holes.
On this one, though, I don't want him, like, you know, if he's just lying, I don't want him to get what he wants.
Yeah, it's true. If you are the kind of person that wants to take credit for a child murder,
yeah,
I don't know if we want to give him that satisfaction if he didn't do it.
No, you don't get prison, you weirdo.
Now that we've looked at the suspects, I'd like to point out that in a recent CBS program, DNA expert Dr. Henry Lee, best known from the O.J. Simpson case, studied the DNA from the JonBenét scene. Dr. Lee found that JonBenét's underwear may have held transfer DNA from the manufacture process, and proved this by testing an unopened bag of underwear, which also had foreign DNA on them. The CBS program concluded that the DNA from the crime scene was therefore fallacious, meaning that conceivably, any of the listed suspects could possibly be the killer.
Oh, shit.
So basically, it's just making the case even more open-ended than we already thought it was.
Yeah, because DNA was ruling out a bunch of other people.
Yeah, so it could conceivably be anyone.
Well, what the fuck are we doing here,
well,
man?
that's why it's unsolved.
This is why?
There's a reason why it's unsolved. In the end, nobody truly knows what happened to JonBenét Ramsey. The odd details of the case will likely forever cloud the truth, and the case tragically remains unsolved.
Dang, man, I wish I could go back in time, or wish I could have the superpower to solve unsolved cases, bro. Oh, man, that'd be crazy. I feel like it had to be somebody that they know, bro. I think it's Gary, but I also think it's somebody in the family. I think it was the dad, bro, or the mom, like they had said, because there's no evidence leading to the house. There was no break-ins. The fake letter, you have to rewrite the letter. You was misspelling some stuff. And a killer, that's crazy. Don't care about misspelling. They'll probably just put a line through it or something, you know, and rewrite it. But they're not about to throw away a whole paper, you know what I'm saying, and rewrite the whole letter over again. So I don't know. It had to be somebody she trusted. I don't think somebody's gonna pick her up from bed and she's not gonna wake up and just take them right down to the basement. You get what I'm saying? But then again, who knows, man? Maybe it was an accident. They tried to cover it up or something. But I don't know. I feel like it was somebody on the inside, but that's just my opinion. I have no criminal justice experience in the detective side, so I don't know. But let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. This video was by BuzzFeed, so if you guys haven't already, be sure you swoop down in the description box, click on the link and watch the video in entirety, because I was pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know I haven't done one in a long time. Be on the lookout for some more variety of things, comedy sketches, no question and answer type stuff. I don't know, just something. I'm gonna look around and see what I can find, try to switch it up a little bit. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to JonBenét Ramsey. And I don't know, but let me know down in the comment section who y'all thought it was. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.